Well, thank you for joining us here at 11604 Vanowen, Goldfinch Apartments here in North Hollywood. I'm very happy to see our partners, coworkers, and friends here as we celebrate the hard work of so many to make this beautiful and healing community what you see today. I know I speak for the entire development team, a very deep bench between Daylight and Decro, that we are so grateful for all of the work and support each of you here have shown to make this project a reality. This project, like all of its kind, require care, passion, and grit. Goldfinch was a project that was supposed to be quick and easy. No entitlement, speedy financing process, modular construction, a little bit of site work, and voila, a beautifully designed building to shelter 49 of our unhoused neighbors here in North Hollywood. Easy enough? The powers that be, weather, interest rates, supply chains, a global pandemic proved otherwise. We first entered into contract to buy this site, a former Mustang repair shop, in September of 2019, and ultimately bought the site in May of 2020. Due to a transformative commitment from the Housing Department, the Mayor's Office, and LA County Department of Health Services, we were fully financed, permitted, and closed our financing to begin construction in January 2021. This was warp speed. What could go wrong? We had an ambitious plan, modular construction built off-site in southern Colorado, streamlined construction techniques, a modular elevator. We were going to do this differently. And while some of those strategies paid off, others did not, though we learned a ton, and the project, unfortunately, did incur some pretty sizable challenges, including some pretty significant water damage during the rains of late 22 and early 23. But I think the strength of the team, both internal and external, was our collective resilience and shared vision to get folks housed and to honor our promises and obligations. It goes without saying, this project was harder than anticipated. It took longer and it cost more, but that is the work. But what we see here in this lovely courtyard for our tenants to enjoy is a lasting statue of that hard work and our commitment that we all bring to work every day. I want to recognize a few of our key partners, and then I will soon get off the microphone. First, to our land use, design, and construction team, 360, Studio 111, Primus, and Howard CDM. This is a beautiful space, and we loved being in the trenches with you. Next, to our very broad financing team, many of which who are here today, from the City of Los Angeles to the County of LA Housing for Health Program, Citibank, R4, Corporation for Supportive Housing. These projects do not happen without that partnership, patience, and creativity. To our operational partners who make us look good, the people concerned, Trillium Property Management. This is your show, and we're happy to turn over the keys to you finally. And finally, to our elected representatives. The Mayor's Office, this was the first Prop HHH Housing Challenge project to begin construction, though we were beat out and we were the second to finish, I believe. To the Supervisorial District 3 team and Lindsay Horvath, you guys are housers through and through. And finally, to our main attraction, a very special thank you to Council President Paul Krekorian and the Council 2 staff. The CD2 team has been incredibly supportive through the past 5 years on multiple projects, and we're so happy to do this work in North Hollywood. This will be the final few months of the Council President's 15-year run on the City Council, and housing has always been a key focus and passion. He's opened, I believe, 7 affordable housing developments in the district, and we've been lucky enough to be a part of 2 of them. Through that, I've gotten to know the Council President over the years, and we were here just a few years ago pushing dirt, and I hope you're happy with how it turned out. You are a steadfast advocate for housing supply and creation, and in total have been a steady leader that we needed here in Los Angeles. I promise this lectern works and will not fall over like last time. So please join me in welcoming Council President Paul Krekorian.
Thank you very much, Greg, and thank you for your steadfast partnership throughout this process. You're right, this is the 7th permanent supportive housing project that I've had the honor to be able to open. We have another one in the pipeline. I don't know if we're going to get it done before I depart the council in December, but it is in the pipeline, and it's critically important that we continue this work. because we've done so much in this city to try to provide temporary shelter to those who are unhoused, but that's only temporary. And getting people in under a roof, getting them off the streets, getting them connected to the help that they need initially is really critical, but giving them a permanent home so that we end their homelessness with permanent housing is even more critical still. So we have to continue to push the accelerator down, get more projects like this open as quick as we can so that we enable more people to come into temporary shelter and then find their way into permanent housing. And that's what this project will do. So thank you for referring to me as the main attraction. I'm hardly that. This is the main attraction, and being able to open this building at long last after all the trials and tribulations that Greg described, even a hurricane. It took a hurricane in Los Angeles, right? You know, but you still saw it through. And it was, I think that's really symbolic of what this building represents too, because the people who are going to live here, the people who are already living here, and those who will come after, have dealt with their shares of trials and tribulations as well. And hopefully this will be the opportunity that they have to be able to turn those challenges into new opportunities to change their own lives as well. So when this project first came to us, way back when, first of all, we loved the concept, we loved the idea, the design, the new innovative approaches. The one thing we didn't love about it was that it wasn't big enough. We would like to have used this project for an even bigger project. But the reason that our developers could not do that is, as Greg alluded, this was the first project under the Project HHH Innovation Challenge. So the idea was to incentivize and expedite projects that could be done quicker, cheaper, according to new kinds of approaches so that we could get more housing online faster. And so they had to stick with those deadlines and those goals in order to meet the requirements of the Innovation Challenge. The problem is the city itself gets in the way of that. And one of the ways that we get in the way of development of important projects like this is with site plan review. So anything that includes more than 50 units of housing under the old rules would have required site plan review, and that can add a year and a half to the process, sometimes maybe more. Just that one step in the approval process by the city itself. So when we saw this project, and we understood why they had to stick with 49 units so that they wouldn't have those additional delays, but it actually inspired me to look at the citywide policy on this. And so we introduced a motion to change the approval requirements so that all affordable units, all affordable housing units, are exempt from site plan review in the city of Los Angeles now. And that means if you have a project with 200 units of housing and they're all affordable, you don't have to go through site plan review. And that's going to save months, if not years, for our developers, which also enables them to qualify for financing, do everything more cheaply, more efficiently, and get more people housed faster in affordable units because of this. And linking arms with our new mayor, I think we were here with Mayor Garcetti, if I'm not mistaken, a long while back when we started. And our new mayor, Karen Bass, has locked arms with the city council, dug in to try to find new ways that we can move things faster around affordable housing and permanent supportive housing. And thanks to her work, working closely with the council, we've really been able to turn the page and change the entire mindset about getting projects like this approved. And the result has been that in the last 2 years that I've been council president and welcomed the mayor on board as our new mayor, the city has built 800 new units of affordable housing, 2,000 units of interim shelter, and 3,000 units of permanent supportive housing around the city. That's a monumental achievement, and very different than what had the pace of development that had happened before. And that's one of the reasons that we've seen this year a 10% reduction in the city of Los Angeles in unsheltered homelessness in Los Angeles. It's a big deal, but we have much, much more to do. So we will continue, and I'm sure that my colleagues will continue to support great projects like this that give people an opportunity to change the arc of their life. We've seen the change that has happened with the 3 tiny home villages I built in my district, the 2 other temporary shelters that we've built in the district, with the Homeless Services Navigation Center, the first one in the city that we built in our district. We've seen how that lifeline has enabled people to turn their lives around. But they have to have an opportunity to turn that lifeline into a permanent solution, and permanent supportive housing like this is the way that that's going to be done. So, Greg, I want to thank you very much for being such a great partner in making that vision a reality. And I also want to recognize, and I feel like I'm being bookended by 2 heroes here. I want to recognize and invite up to the podium Ted Handel, the CEO of Decro Development, who made all of this happen. So, Ted, thank you very much for your partnership as well. And let's welcome Ted Handel up to the podium. Congratulations.
Council President Krekorian, Greg, my DECRO colleagues, Aaron, Sonia, the development team behind this project, distinguished guests. As the Council President has said, good afternoon. I'm Ted Handel. I'm the CEO of DECRO Corporation. We are a nonprofit affordable housing developer who was privileged to partner with Daylight on the development of this very needed permanent supportive housing project. Welcome to Goldfinch Apartments. As you've heard, innovative affordable housing through modular construction. As Greg has said, being innovative, however, can and does present challenges. As anyone will tell you, as you heard on this project, there were certainly more than just a few in getting this project across the finish line, but here we are. Today, however, let's focus on Goldfinch Apartments and what it represents. It is housing primarily for the formerly incarcerated. As those who have been incarcerated will say, they too face many challenges in making a transition. One among them, of course, is, and if not the most essential, is securing safe, affordable housing. Many find themselves turned away from housing when landlords learn of their prior residence. According to the Prison Policy Institute, incarcerated people are almost 10 times more likely to be homeless than the general public. NBC News reported a year ago that the number, and this is a quote, the number of homeless former prisoners in LA County nearly doubled from 1,621 in 2019 to almost 3,000 just in 2020. In 2022, more than 2,300 prisoners were released here in the county. How are we addressing this situation? Through what is called the Office of Diversion and Reentry, or ODR housing program. The ODR program provides permanent supportive housing to individuals who are homeless, have mental health or substance abuse disorders, and were incarcerated in LA County Jail. Individuals are assigned an intensive case manager who provides them with a transition from custody to community. Residents receive mental health, substance abuse, and of course permanent supportive housing through the ODR program. 38 of Goldfinch's residents are participants in the ODR program. Working collaboratively with the people concerned, who is the social service provider here, Trillium Property Management, the property manager, DECRO and Daylight are very privileged and proud to support this program. Thank you very much.